I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to connection. I'm going to go to smooth. So just smooth all those out there. I'm going to show you too. When I do scripts, I'm sure everyone has their own way of doing it. This is the way I figured out that works best for me. And it might be silly. There might be a better way. If there is, let me know. So I like to go ahead and make the connecting stroke and set up where it's going to be. And that way I can have every letter start where it needs to. And then I can use it to end every letter the way it needs to. I mean, it depends on the font. Some of you want really close. That's probably about right. So I'm going to smooth this whole curve up, okay, real quick. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it in one of these empty slots up here. And then I just use it all the time. So it's right there. I make that. And then I make a second one. I'll show you why in a second. And then I take my cutting tool. There we go. Oh, sometimes it doesn't like it when I do it right on that. So I'm going to do it one to the, there we go. I'm just going to shift this over one. Okay. What this means is now when I can create a new letter, I can just take this piece and put it in, make sure it works. But also, if I'm making the end of a letter, let's say I'm making a D. Okay, we're just going to go over here. Ugh. Okay, I can copy that in. And now I just shift it over. And I know I want my D to end like that. So I can merge it down to the end and then smooth it out. However, and it'll make sure that I have the ending correct. And also then I can use this. I know because of where I cut that I need the D to end right there. Yes, all letters will have their own special box. I just draw them together so that I can kind of see exactly what I'm going for. Once I kind of know, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll draw them in their own separate boxes. A lot of times I draw them all in the same box and then I divvy them up later. So I'm just going to start drawing some letters, all right? Sure, that'll work. Got a G. Okay, so I have all the letters I need to make the word boomerang. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start pulling these over to their own boxes, all right? And if you use Shift or Control with the arrow keys, if you just hit arrow, it'll go over one little point at a time. If you use Shift, it'll go over 10. If you use Control, it'll go over 100. So that's how I'm doing that. I do feel a little nervous. Usually I do this, and a lot of times I don't like what I end up with, and I'm just like, that's okay. I delete it and do it again, but I feel a little pressured now. I want to do it. Good job right away. Okay, so once again, the first thing that I do is I'm going to get rid of all these extra points. Now, because I like to draw overlapped, the easiest way sometimes to get this all right is I kind of have to, I'm going to use the word deconstruct it. That's not the right word. But you'll see what I mean here. Pulling it all apart so it's not overlapping for the moment. Okay. I am liking where this is going. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this tool that I made over here, and just to make it easier to see, you can mark things with different colors. So I'm just going to mark it, make it pink there, throw it over here. So now what I can do is just select my layer and see where it's going to connect. And I like to make this be, thank you, Asthmatic. Okay, I like to make this be fairly straightforward across how I do all my letters. So I kind of line it up with the point, and then to be safe, I go back 1 or 2. It just depends on the font. Usually I go back 1. So that's going to be where the B is. Now I'm going to take this. I'm going to pull it over here. And I know that this, I can either merge it together or I can kind of bring this up. And I think that's the way I'm going to go this time. So I want this to taper similarly. I'm going to do that. And as much as I can, I like to have it end in the same way. I try to even get that curve to work if I can. Things just connect a lot smoother if I do that. And then I bring this back down more the way I had it. So it's not perfectly in line with it, and it doesn't have to be. Again, that's part of why I give it that space there where I went over. So it's like it overlaps by 10 points. Okay, so now I want to see if that is about, okay, so it would be like that. I might want to bring it in some. This is coming out quite a bit, but let's just look. So if I type another B here to see how it connects. Oops, got this part here. I think I want it a little tighter. And also, now that I'm thinking about it, because I want the whole font a little tighter, I've got so much space over here, right? So I think that I want to change actually the thing I have up here so that it doesn't have to come over this far. See how it's like got hardly any room over here and lots of room over here? Sometimes those are things that I don't really realize until I've started doing it. And it's like, okay. So ideally, let's grab this piece that isn't cut in half. I'm going to redo where I have it cut. So let's go back over a couple. All right. And then bring this, so again, lining up, and then I'm gonna go over 10. So I've got that nice overlap. I think I want it more than, do I want it more than that? So you see there is, it's a little more equal here, the space. Let's just go a hair more. Okay. So, all right, lining it up, giving it 10. All right. Now that I've done that, I'm gonna copy it for one thing so I can put it back up there. Oops, I'm gonna redo my line here. Sometimes it does that. That's okay. I can just kind of fudge it a little bit there. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go back over here, delete this, paste in that. Oops, go back to the B. All right. Copy, delete this, paste that. Got it. Okay. And we're going to go back to the B now. Okay. And we're going to take, oh, I didn't need the whole thing, just the end. Oh, well, it happens. Okay. Don't need that part. Just kind of checking out. Okay. I think that works. I'm going to do that. You know what? This part probably should be more like this because I usually always going to taper, and that wasn't very tapered. So, okay, that'll work. I'm going to save this piece back up in here again. Don't want to mess everything up by not having it be the same. Okay, so delete that. Throw in this. I'm going to redo it in here. Yeah, I know it's a lot of just redoing the same things. I'm just trying to keep everything. There we go. All right, great. So I've got my B set up. So now if I type in B's together, they should be connecting like that. Great. And you know what? Now that I did that, so we don't need to make sure it's completely in the right place yet. We'll do that once we have it where we like it. So I like the overall shape of this O. I think I'm going to get rid of this ending point, but we're going to start the way I always do and get rid of extra points that we don't need. And sometimes I adjust, like the true kind of bottom of this is more here than here. So there we go. Get rid of these. Okay, up here, this curve sometimes gets a little tricky. Don't need that. Okay, nothing in here needs to stay sharp on the corners. So I'm just going to copy everything, right click, and make it all nice and smooth. Okay, and now I'm just going to start moving things around. Kind of feel like maybe the whole thing needs to be thicker, like the B too. I'm still kind of discovering exactly what I want this font to be. I haven't done enough to be totally settled in what's going on here.